Morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, struggling as I have been recently for content, I thought what can I do, and I realised what I haven't done for absolutely ages is giving you an update on sales. Normally I would kind of do this every month, so there's a bit of a lag sort of to when I do it. In actual fact I normally do it every couple of weeks, and I give my sort of top 10 sales, but I have not done it this year, which is very bad of me really. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll try and catch up. So I've been on eBay and had a look at my orders, and I filtered them off by date, sort them by price, and we're going all the way back to January. Now, because I've been a bit of a slacker on this, I'm missing the first week. But this is sort of like the top 10. It's not always top 10 in price. Sometimes, you know, I might just pick out a few interesting things. But it's sort of like some stuff that's sold in January. So let's shrinky dink me down if I can work out how to do this. I haven't done this for a long time. I'm looking very white as well, but I won't worry about that because I'm going to shrinky dink. Okay. So here we are. I have to be very careful with this. I always try not to give the buyer's name. I don't think I've done it here. I think I've hidden it. So the first one. Yeah, well, I generally tend to pick up any Olympus I can get my hands on, and certain other cameras I will always get. Normally try and get them for under a fiver at a boot fair. If this had been working, it would have been worth 2 or 3 times as much. But it wasn't working. Put it in, not having it, and I did sort of take it apart and try and fix it, but it still wasn't having it. But they're still worth trying to sell. It'd been on the shelf for a while, you know, and usual sort of get it at home, doesn't work, might try and fix it, don't look at it for ages, and then eventually realise you're not going to fix it and just chuck it on eBay. And it got sold to a guy in Australia actually, so it went via GSP. And one thing I will always do with my spares and repairs, I obviously put the conditioners for parts not working, put it in the title as well, put it in the condition description, put it in the item description, and then when it does sell I'll always send a message to the buyer going, you do know it's spares and repairs, don't you? Because the number of times people just do not realise, just see a photo and think I'll have that. You know, people do make mistakes, and you know, if I'd have just sent it off. But yeah, he did realise he was going to tinker with it. So yeah, nice little sale really. Yeah, like I say, it probably would have cost, well, maximum of 5. It could have been a couple of quid really. Right, can I just switch tab? I can. So this was an Atari ST, and I got this off a guy. Oh, I bought a few bits off him, and I think he did me really. And you know, it's one of the, I won't be buying off him again. I know who he is. I know who you are. It's a guy who's always going around our boot fairs trying to snuffle up loads of stuff, and he was actually, you know, he was selling at a boot fair, and he had a Sinclair Cambridge calculator, which I thought was very interesting. But that cost me about a tenner. He charged me a tenner for that. He sold me a Game Gear for 50 quid, which was a total. It had about 6 games with it, but the caps needed doing on them, and I shouldn't have paid more than 20. You know, that was the first time I'd bought a Game Gear actually, and that was sort of a lesson learnt on that one. Sometimes you can sort of chase this retro gaming stuff too much. Anyway, this cost 15 quid, which I thought was kind of like more reasonable. And again, I wasn't expecting it to work, and I got it home and it wasn't working. These are quite good, these STs, because they just take a normal kind of power supply. You don't need a different, you know, specialist computer power supply with it. The handy thing with this is I did pick up a couple of STs later on which did work, which was nice. One was a 520 and one was, is it a 1024? I never had an ST, but you know, it was like the bigger RAM one. And this one originally had all the keys, and one of the ones I picked up later on didn't have all the keys, so I just snuffled off a couple of the keys, pulled them off, put them with my one, which I'll probably keep the two that I've got. I haven't got any software for it, but eventually I'll get something. And then I thought, well, I'll stuff it, stick this on eBay. The disk drive was grinding. You turn it on, it was like real state. And I thought, well, someone will have it for parts, even with a couple of keys missing and the grinding disk drive, and they did. So yeah, I bought that for 15. Sold it for 40 for parts, which isn't bad. If it had been working and all lovely and nice, may have sold for 70, 80. I don't know what they go for. But yeah, I always on electronics. If I'm buying, I try and think, can I at least get my money back? Sometimes I might not do. Sometimes I might buy a little Walkman and it might be a complete fail, but hopefully I won't have wasted too much money. But I was fairly confident I'd get at least 15 back on this one, because people always want the keys, or bits inside. Next one, electronics highrisers. Yeah, it's a bit of a sort of standard pickup for me, but I've been picking them up less and less because they are a real pain to send. I mean, they're so heavy, and the packing on them, they need a good amount of packing. I'm not as bad as a CRT, but CRT TV, but just one of those things. But if you can get them cheap, again, I will try and pick these up for around about £5. But I have bought, I think I bought one off Facebook Marketplace for about a tenner once, and it was like, what do I do that for? Always handy if they've got the box. This one didn't have the box, because if they've got the box, you can just, pretty much surround that in cardboard. But this is a very good condition one. I've never had one that doesn't work, but I've probably jinxed myself there, and will pick up a load this year. Do try and get them with a ribbon in, so you can at least test it. Part use ribbon, and I always sell it with a part use ribbon in there. And I'll type, start typing my my autobiography in there. No, I normally just type the alphabet, or the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and just to show all the keys work. Right, nice little set. Again, from the tons and tons and tons of Lego that I have. It's been sitting around for years. And this was 100% complete, which is unusual. I think maybe there were a couple of bits missing and I found them, which is why it's not gone sooner. I sold a lot of the Lego. The first stuff that went was, it was stuff that was £100 plus, and I did a good amount of that. And then there was a big long gap where stuff wasn't complete, and then this time last year I started doing, I tackled the Friends bundle, really thanks to Nick, because he kind of got my arse and gear with that. And I've still got some dregs. I've got loads of Indiana Jones Lego. I've sold some vintage bits, one of which I was hoping to show, but I think it's fallen off my 30 days. I sold a vintage, and this would have been in January, I sold a vintage Lego Knights kind of castle. I think that was kind of 99% complete, but that went for over 100. So when I was looking at my sales, getting this plan for yesterday, that was in there, but unfortunately it's dropped off the 31 days, so you're not going to see it. But yes, I did sell a Lego castle for, I think it was 130 or something. Some of that vintage stuff, stuff from kind of 80s can go for a lot of money. Strangely enough, some of the stuff from the 70s doesn't go as high. I've looked at some of the sets with the old Lego figures. It's that kind of, people love the Lego castle, so if you ever see that, grab that. And some of the Lego pirate boats, some of the early ones go well as well. But that was a good sale, 30 quid for something that's just lying around. And other stuff that's been lying around, which I've been tackling and still got lots and lots of, is Sylvanian, which I kind of, I don't like really. It's just too big. At least Lego shrinks down. Problem with Lego is that you never have everything, and you kind of want to complete it. But Sylvanian's just too big. You can't shrink it down at all. And again, you don't always have the complete, bits in there. But this one's quite surprising, really. This went 40 quid. Didn't have any figures with it, but it is a nice set. I suppose it would cost a lot to get that new. And if someone just wants, a school set to play with, I don't know how much this costs new. Got no idea at all. I purely went on comps to research the price on this, and I went competitive as well because I do want to get rid of it. Nice set of phones. A lot of people do get rid of phones. We've actually got this set of phones. This is the ones we use. As long as they're clean. So I bought similar things and got them home. They've not worked. But this generally they're okay. And if you can pick them up cheap enough, again, you don't want to pay silly money for them. But that was a nice pickup. The fact that you got 4, I normally try and get three or more. Duos probably would make money as well, but not singles. More Lego. This actually was hanging around for a long time. I'd put it on. I don't think I dropped the price too much. I think it had a rarish figure. That green figure is kind of rarish. I've said 99% complete. One of the guys was missing a helmet, which you can see there. Green sticker missing from something. But again, 94 quid. The whole bundle did cost me a lot of money. But when you're selling things like this, and I've probably sold, oh my god, how many listings have I got out of it? Over 30. So I have got a lot of money back from it, which has been good. Here's something I did struggle with. My god, I bought a whole load. Okay, it's these wrestling belts. Who wouldn't want a wrestling belt? And I think I've probably mentioned this in an update when I was packing stuff up or getting stuff ready to pack up. And I bought these last boot fair season, and they were under 50p each, maybe about 40p each. And I got, how many did I get? Well, I must have got around about 90 of them, because I've sold 88 here. And I thought, well, I'm in the money here. And, if these sell for a £5 each, or maybe even like 7 quid each, maybe, I've paid 40p. I'm gonna, with fees and everything, I'm gonna make 5 quid each on each one. That's at least 400 quid, maybe. It's in my pocket. I'm laughing, especially with Christmas coming up. All the kids will want it. Put it on. Put them on cheap. Nothing. Did bundles of the 3 different types. Nothing. Dropped the price. Nothing. Promoted it. Nothing. Begged people to take it off me if I paid them. Nothing. No, I didn't do that. But absolutely nothing. And I thought, what is going on? And I thought, well, I just want to get rid of them, because if I've got 88 of them and I haven't sold one of them in like 6-7 months, what's the likelihood of me ever dribbling them out one by one? It's going to take like about 500 years. So I thought, let's have a go at bundling them all up and sticking them in a box. So it was quite handy that they were in a box, and I had a big box, and I checked it out, and it all pretty much fitted in a big box that could go via Hermes or UPS. And I thought, well, how much do I want to get rid of them? And I thought, well, including postage, around about a quid each or something like that. So they went for that. I put them on and they went straight away, and I was just really, really glad to get rid of them, because I got to the point where I was trying to sell them individually, and it's a small parcel, unfortunately. I think it was, and I was trying to sell them for like $4.99 free post, so it's pretty much a quid each, and they just weren't going. I may have even gone cheaper than that. And so the whole lot went. So in terms of what I've made, I've probably doubled my money. But to be honest, from where I was at, I was very glad to just do that. Even if I'd have sold this for half the price, I would have been glad to get rid of it. So yeah, sometimes you make mistakes, and that was a mistake, but it was a mistake where I still made money, so I don't mind that really. Okay, on to a couple of nice sales. I bought a whole load of kind of train stuff, which was quite pricey, but you know, the returns have been there on the sale price. So and I've just sold one this month actually, which is gone for a lot more than this. So yeah, Hornby stuff always goes well if you can find it. So all of this stuff was new, unused, you know, just a collector, keeping it on the shelf, deciding to get rid of it. So that one went for a lot of money. And then there's you know, another kind of similar one in the box. There's just a little bit of shelf wear, just a little bit of wear on the corners, which again I did declare. But when I picked this up at the boot fair, it was weird because I was in the booth there probably about half hour, 40 minutes, saw the guy selling this stuff, spent all my money, you know, spent probably over 200 quid with him, and came home. And you know, I was pretty much home within an hour of leaving the house. I was back in, which was really nice. It's a bit weird, but it was really nice just to sort of go, well, I've done my boot fair bit. So yeah. So those were the two top sales. I've got one item left from all of that kind of Hornby stuff, which is this, which I don't think is worth that much. I think it's mainly the trains that kind of make the money on it, and obviously the bigger sets. But that's sort of like the best sales of January, slowly catching up. Now February's going to be interesting because February is when the boiler broke, and March is kind of like recovery time. But I hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoyed it, do click like, do subscribe if you're not subscribed, and take care. Hope to see you soon. See you later.